You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. And the lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Bounce back, oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to Daytona. We are live here for the Icon season opener. Liam Ervig joined up in the booth by Alan Bergen. Alan, we've been talking a little bit about all of these familiar names that we've seen so far. What are you looking forward to most here tonight?
I tell you what, Liam, we are going to have a new champion tonight here at Daytona, starting this season. Brian Smith, not racing with Icon this year, but nonetheless, it's going to be fun. Liam, we talked about, a lot of the names here. One name that's going to stick out to us, last year in the booth with me, this year trading that suit for a driver's suit, Shane Cochran. I am excited to see what he's going to do this season. We got a long season as we get it rocking and rolling here in Daytona.
Yeah, I'm definitely ready for the action that we're going to see. These next-gen cars are phenomenal. Put on some incredible racing here at Daytona, and the Icon League is full of incredible talent. Looking forward to seeing what these guys can do here today. There'll be 120 laps to make up 300 miles in this season opener, and we're taking a look at some of these guys in warm-up, getting a little bit more drafting practice after we've figured out where everybody's going to be starting.
Absolutely. I'm pumped, Liam. We've been talking. I know you're in a great mood tonight as we got to see no right fender needed in the real world race tonight at Atlanta. But we shift gears and we come to Daytona, where last week a fun race that was. But tonight here at Daytona, stages are going to be at lap 40 and lap 80. So 2 stages going to make up those stage breaks tonight. And, there's no playoffs. We're going into the chase.
Absolutely. Now you see that Air Jordan machine side by side for a front spot in this pack. And Alan, I know the crew, the viewers can't see it. But I'm showing you my camera. This is what I've been wearing all day.
I love it. I love it.
Got the Tyler Reddick shirt on here. Of course, I couldn't be more pleased with the start of this season. But these guys are about to have their very own chance to start the season in a way that only one driver gets to, and that's with a victory in the season opener at Daytona.
Think about it this way, Liam. As we're watching warm-up, there's one driver that conquered Daytona last year who's at the top of the pile here in warm-up, and that's that 30 car Ryan Petty. 1 year ago, he won the opening round. He drew first blood in this Icon Cup Series. And here he is. He's at the top of the pile here in warm-ups, looking to make it back-to-back wins at Daytona.
Absolutely is. And I tell you what, man, it's going to be an absolute blast to watch what these guys have going on. See if I can adjust a quick little audio situation here that I'm having.
That's all right. And then there's some other new names, too. Another name that I like, that I'm going to like here this season to see what he's going to be able to do, that's the boss, John Ross. And not only that, but that number 93 car, his teammate out of Adrenaline Racing, the Rocket, Zach Lockett, who I think is going to be, Brian Smith, make a liar out of me. Brian Smith is in the field in that number 78 car. On the fence about coming back, but here he is racing at Daytona.
You can't forget the boss, John Ross. It is a man that I know you are always fun to see out on the racetrack. Mostly just because of the name.
I mean, look, Liam, me and you, we're around dirt racing all the time. You get nicknames in dirt racing. So when you see the boss, John Ross, in there, we hope to be talking to him a lot this season, along with the Rocket, Zach Lockett.
All right, just working through a couple of quick little audio deals.
It's okay. It's the first race of the season.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to need a gimme, but try to start this off as professional as possible here. As warm-up is coming to a close, which means it is time for us to get gridded here. So the cars disappear off of the racetrack. Going to get ready to jump down, get the engines fired for 300 miles at Daytona. A little bit foggy is the weather. Go ahead and bring up your race info here. It is going to be a little bit foggy here, Alan. You see a 72-degree temperature, I believe. Kind of high on that humidity level.
Oh, boy. That humidity level, that's 98% relative humidity, Liam. And that track temperature is a swampy 83 degrees there. So, I mean, down in northeastern Florida, the humidity is everything.
It definitely is. I've been down there, and it can get pretty hot.
It does.
Keeps y'all, it just makes you feel nasty. It gets muggy down there, and especially with all this fog that we're seeing, that could definitely make visibility a bit of a problem for these guys if the weather doesn't change throughout the course of this race. But you know how it works when it's this early in the day. Some of that moisture on the ground is going to get up into the air. But let's go ahead and bring up our starting lineup here today. On the pole, we've got Adam Ball, followed by Josh Malone. 1 second. Alan, could you run through the starting grid for me?
Yeah, Adam Ball's going to be on the pole. Jacob Malone is going to be on that outside row 1. Charles Wood's going to make up row 2 along with Jacob Smith. Caden Henry Oaks is going to make up row number 3. Alongside him, starting 6th out of Highline Racing, is going to be Charlie Widener. Michael Taylor is going to start on the inside of row number 4, while Bentley Glazer is going to start to the inside. Normally racing on Tuesday nights and making a start here in the Icon Cup Series, Michael Melfoot Jr. in that 155 car. To the outside in row number 5 is going to be Matt Everett. Joshua Parent is going to start 11th. The Rocket, Zach Lockett, is going to start 12th. Starting 13th will be Jeff Hollingsworth, and Paul Krumrye will start 14th. Ryan Petty, last year's Daytona winner, will start 15th alongside Buddy Motorsports' Brian Smith. Dominic Tizio will start in 17th, 18th to go to Mike Grinnell, while Jacob Roll will start 19th, 20th to go to Brock Hersey. Jacob Christenberry will start 22nd. John McNeil will start 22nd. Jake Christenberry will start 21st. 23rd will be Kevin Gunther along with Nathan Finnegan starting 24th. Starting 25th will be John Ross along with Zachary King, while Scott Tompkins will start 27th. Starting 29th will be Nathan Brzezowski. Chris Camburn will start 29th. Shane Cochran will start 30th. Kevin Bankert will start 31st, while Chris Powell will start 32nd. 33rd will be Patrick Colby. Anthony Tizio will start 34th. 35th will be Robert Bloom. Chris Mackey will start 36th. 37th will be Brad Duff. Hanover Fist will start 37th.
Green flag in
and we're
the
off
air
and running
here at Daytona. We are racing for the first 300 miles.
And what a start that these guys got. Adam Ball out to an early lead. It is so foggy out here. We're having trouble seeing, but hopefully that fog goes away.
Yeah, definitely hoping that fog goes away. The humidity is high here in Daytona. It's going to mean we're going to have to try to stay as close as we possibly can to these cars.
Yeah, Liam, this is going to be a patience-type game here. As, you know, Jacob Malone and Jacob Smith, it's Team Jacob out there in the front. Not to be confused with the Twilight Saga, but in case you're wondering, it's Team Jacob.
Yeah, doing pretty good out there. Making hay up on the outside. And currently, Jacob Malone, he's going to hold on to the lead for lap number 1. Inside lane looks to be pretty strong together, but you've got a battle for 4th on the outside. Here comes Charlie Widener. We've seen in the Western States Racing League on Tuesday nights. Making himself a start here at Daytona in the Icon Cup Series.
And Charlie Widener, made the playoffs last season, and looking to repeat that playoff bid this season, as he's got Bentley Glazer right in front of him in that number 36 car.
Glazer there in the 36, and yeah, this mist is definitely something for these drivers to have to deal with. You look at the spotter stand on this side, and you can barely see these cars. It's going to be a challenge, especially if you have problems getting into a corner.
Yeah, absolutely is. Right now, Bentley Glazer, on that inside line. But look at that outside line. That's the 93 car with the Rocket, Zach Lockett, leading that outside line with that number 36 in tow.
I think the answer might be to try to keep these cameras as low to the ground as possible so we can get a good view of these cars in racing action as Jacob Malone continues to lead. Like you said, Team Jacob out front, Malone in first, Smith in second, Adam Knows Ball in third, and he's going to try to keep those guys behind him as now there's a run with Zach Lockett up on the outside, being pushed by Paul Krumrey. Charles Woods down there on the bottom trying to take advantage of the lack of cars on the inside in front of him. Going to pull himself back up. Side by side for about the 5th position as Lockett gets himself a good push from Krumrey down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I think that outside line just needs a little more help right now as they are almost stalled out. Right at the time that Zach Lockett gets to Jacob Smith and Adam Ball, that's where that line stalls out. He's getting a little too far ahead of Paul Krumrey and Jacob Malone just has that advantage right now. They feel like they got way more cars on that inside line.
Yeah, the inside lane is definitely going to have the advantage with more cars at this point. We've completed on lap number 5. So we've got 4 down, 10 miles in, 290 to go. He's doing a phenomenal job kind of minding the D's. Getting a little 3-wide action right there with Paul Crumray getting left out, hung out to dry.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, whether it's going to be a strategy move that he falls back, but he's in the sucker hole. And boss John Ross coming in there. Oh, well, thought about saving today, but decides he's going to hop back in line.
You're going to see a lot of that. Now Crumray finds himself with help in front and behind him. You're going to see a lot of that. Those lanes will shift. And 1 or 2 guys that are still side by side aren't going to be able to shift with the lane, therefore finding themselves in a heap of trouble outside of the draft. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in so far. We've got some, got the Car 51 checking in. Leroy Koblenz and the boss John Ross has a fan. We got Free Vinny. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'll say it just the once. I hope I didn't get got. Shout out 15, shout out 20 for the same guy. Looking good, sounding good. The 20 is going to be a force of nature this season. So we appreciate you guys jumping up in here. We're going to make sure that your favorite drivers get some TV time. That's what we're going to bribe you for the interaction with.
Well, I can say right now that 9 car, Kevin Banker, is trying to deliver a smile there in that Amazon Prime car. But as we come back to the field, Jacob Malone doing Jacob Malone type things, while Zach Lockett trying to get that outside line to, maybe chug along there. As he's falling back, well, Zach Lockett's around that 4th position.
Yeah, he's got a good run here on the outside as we take a look at this kind of Days of Thunder looking cam. Tyler Lockett, Zach Lockett, sorry, that's a football player. Zach Lockett moves to the outside. He's going to take away the race lead with a nice run and a nice push from that 48, John McNeil. Nathan Brzezowski is up there as well in that 77 Adrenaline Racing machine, trying to make something happen. Moving into 3rd, moves down to the bottom, potentially trying for 2nd. Crumray is going to fall down to the inside into 4th. And just like that, it took 1 lap. Jacob Malone goes from leading the race to battling for a top 5 spot.
Yeah, just as you see that, the boss John Ross, has an Amazon car right behind him. But we're going to see that multiple times tonight, Liam, where that outside line will get up to the lead, and then the leader of that outside line will essentially, go down to the inside line, abandon that line. It's Jacob Malone going to get in front of the boss, John Ross.
And as you guys can see, we've kept the weather up on the right side of the screen here. We're just keeping an eye on that fog, that humidity number, kind of hoping it drops down a little bit so we can get some higher up cameras. I think we got some cool angles to bring you guys, but the weather, well, it wouldn't be a Daytona season opener with the weather not cooperating now, would it?
No, it wouldn't. And as we get to a little squirrely, these cars, since the last update, has gotten really, really loose. We ran, a couple races here at Daytona. We've seen a couple races here at Daytona. But nonetheless, I mean, these guys are pretty even kill right now. Matching each other step for step here. And I gotta tell you, man, that 54 car, I do love the Air Jordan car.
Me too. I'm a little biased, but I do like it. He's moved up to the outside, though, this time, Alan. He's moved up to the outside, trying to utilize that push from the boss, John Ross, at 9 in the prime. Trying to get everything rolling to the front on this outside lane. They've got help from the 98 of Charles Woods, or rather, sorry, that's Shane Cochran up on the outside, Charles Woods down on the inside. Shane Cochran, though, he's had himself a pretty nice start, sitting in the 11th place after starting in 30th. He's worked his way up, and let me get one of these. Just want to make sure everybody's car comes through correctly. I'm just seeing some aerial numbers, and that Crunchyroll, that looks like a trade and paint scheme, so I think we might be okay.
Okay. Oh boy.
Gray car number 1 is taking on gray car number 2. In all seriousness, Zach Lockett continues to lead over John McNeil. These cars continue to get back loaded in. See that 77 Nathan Brzezowski right up front. It's Zach Lockett. He's had help from John McNeil for most of this race so far.
I just saw the YouTube.com live chat, and Liam, I forgot to tell you about the free Vinny chat. We're gonna chat more about that later on. But nonetheless, Zach Lockett getting it done here. Out to an early lead here on lap 12, 11 in the book. I mean, it's gonna be patient. So Liam, here at a long race like this, 300 miles, I'll drop it to the back. I would avoid the chaos and carnage, or the mischief and mayhem, if you will.
Yeah, that's exactly what Dominic DeSales decided to do. He's in 41st position after starting. He's lost 24 positions. I believe that's a 17th place starting spot, but Dominic in that 20 car. He's got some fans in the chat right now just biding his time. We're going to take a little ride on board with his machine. See how much he's playing with that throttle, or if he's just rocketing in the draft right now.
You know, here, Liam, you know, I would want to stay far enough back where you can still have that draft, but yet close enough to you're gonna still get the draft far enough back where you're gonna avoid the mayhem and mischief that comes with that big wreck. Now, it's not surprising to see these guys single filed out here on the inside line. It's we're rocking and rolling to lap 40. That's gonna be our first stage break of the night. I see what she did there.
Now we got some of the biggest movers out here. Kevin Baker, Nathan Brzezowski, Powell in the 92 machine. He's moved up 12 positions, or 22 positions rather. John McNeil trading back and forth for the race lead with Jacob Malone, though. Malone able to take that 54 machine up to the top, and now he's taking it back down to the bottom as he's cleared for the race lead.
The boss, John Ross, almost had a moment with the 48 car of John McNeil there, as he thought better of it. All a little side draft going on there too. But here's the boss, or the Rocket, Zach Lockett, at the third car in line behind McNeil and Malone.
Still side by side, but now McNeil up on the outside with Zach Lockett's help, and backwards is going that 54. He's going to push from Crumray, but Jacob Malone is, well, he was a little bit alone there for a moment. Now he's got help in front of him from that number 9 Amazon Prime.
So right now, Kevin Banker is trying to deliver a smile to the front of the field. That's what they do at Amazon, they deliver smiles, and I mean, he must be a Prime member because he's working his way forward on 2-day shipping.
So Alan, we've got stage breaks today. What are we expecting with our stages here? And tell the fans.
Well, look, one of these guys are going to undercut the stage. You got to, a few tire sets, but at Daytona, in my mind, Daytona's not really cheese grater type track. So you're going to want to come down and get gas, in between stages. But in that, at the stage break, come down and get 4 tires. And I imagine, do you take stage 1 and run it all the way through and get that fuel mileage rating that you're also desperately going to need? And then do you undercut stage 2, or do you undercut stage 1 and run out stage 2? But stage 1, these guys are gonna, have that pit stop built in there, and then stage 2, it's gonna be all gas and no brakes, I believe.
We're looking at
sometimes
40,
my math doesn't add up.
To the end.
Yep, 40, 80, and then to the end.
That's going to be interesting here with the 60% fuel limit that these drivers have. If they continue to keep racing as clean as they are with 16 laps complete, approaching halfway in this stage, and it does look like the sun is starting to poke its way out. We might have hope for a a little bit less fog and a little bit more visibility for these drivers out on the racetrack. Tell you what, man, green flag pit stops at Daytona are going to be one of the most treacherous things you have to deal with, and it looks like these guys are starting to separate themselves as if they're anticipating these pit stops coming soon.
Yeah, definitely, and that's efficiency, getting on pit road and getting off pit road as efficiently as possible. And Liam, I always like watching people get on and off pit road because, well, it's almost like a land rush. Everybody's doing the same thing all at once, and a lot of carnage can happen.
Carnage can definitely happen, and that's something that these guys are going to want to avoid. You do not want to find yourself in trouble on the first pit stop of the first stage, first race of the season. Of course, we're moving into a chase format, much like the NASCAR Cup Series did, which means a win and you're in is not... It's not viable anymore. I mean, if you have a bad race, that's a bad point stay, and you're going to have to recover from that for the rest of the season. You don't want to start this season in a hole. I know obviously somebody's going to have to finish last, but you don't want to make a mistake or find yourself in a compromising position that puts you in that position.
Yeah, definitely don't want to win the race to the beer stand for sure. As we got Shane Cochran up there, up 21 spots, running 9th. He is right behind Jacob Malone, doing Jacob Malone things on that outside line. And, you know, Shane Cochran is, you know, he races in other leagues throughout the week, and I'm sure he's ran like a million Daytona races this week.
Had to get a little TV time to Brian Smith in the 78. I'm not sure I agree with this statement, but he's got a fan in the chat saying he smells like cheese. Brian, I'm sure you smell like Goodyear tires and Sunoco race fuel right now. So
I'm sure he does too. Like,
anyways,
you know,
John McNeil continues to lead. We're going to be 20 laps complete this time around. Let's go ahead and take a look at who's been leading so far. Got a couple of guys who've been up front. Only 3. John McNeil has led 7. Jacob Malone has led 7. And Zach Lockett has led 6. But it's looking like that 48 of John McNeil is going to come up off of turn number 4 and lead his 8th lap of the day. Still early on here at Daytona.
yeah,
Halfway through stage number 1.
Oh, we have a shout out to Tizio Designs.
Love that.
In the live chat. Yep. We love the shout outs. Keep them coming.
Single file for the most part. It looks like there's about 10 drivers up on the outside line. But the most intriguing thing to me, Alan, is at 41st pace, Robert Blauen. He is the last driver in the field. He's only 4 seconds off of the race lead after 20 laps.
Yeah, that's the other thing too is, you know, Dominic Tizio passed Robert Balloon several laps back, but you know that's one of those things where these guys are, you know, Dominic and Robert and Jeff Dillon and Leroy Koblenz, they're gonna be back there just biding their time, getting through the stages. And Liam, like you said, not everybody can win at Daytona. Not everybody's expected to win at Daytona, but I mean, hear me out. It's a long race, and it's mentally challenging here at Daytona. You know, here's the misconception about Daytona and Talladega, and any super speedway for that matter, is they think, oh, it's real easy, but it's a mental game. You're playing mental chess at 190 miles an hour, as we see a 3-wide action going on there.
Shane Cochran
around it
back there.
Yeah, Shane Cochran followed back. But or you can, you know, it's the game of high-speed tug-of-war. The outside line is going to get the advantage. The inside line is going to get the advantage.
It's a rubber
it's really
banding
back.
effect. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of a different thing. I was thinking about how everybody gets spread out and then gets back together, that rubber banding effect, but...
I mean, insert adjective here, I mean.
But yeah, it is like a... You know, it's a game of inches almost. These guys will... Oh, here's the pit stop.
Oh, here we go.
Inside. We've got 7 of them coming in. A little bit of a lockup out of the 9. We'll see if he gets by okay. John McNeil going to lead him down. Chris Powell stays out.
Camburn also staying out in that number 88 car, paying homage to Dale Jr. in the Travelers Whiskey, and Justin Allgaier in that number 40 car. But nonetheless, here they are. They're bump drafting like true professionals.
That 3 machine, that vet to track machine, pushing the 45 up on the outside. The Hilton Toyota Camry. I'm a little biased towards that 45, not necessarily the driver, but the number. A little bit of, we got more pit stops coming in this time, and it looked like Charlie Widener almost got hit by Shane Cochran. I was getting ready to say a little bit of contact getting on. It's 72. Oh, we got one sideways with the 88. He's got some front end damage, too.
Yeah, there are no fast repairs in this league, so whatever damage you receive is the damage you have to fix.
Tough break for him. We'll see if we can get a look at what happened. But now we've got another group leading this race, led by Scott Tompkins, Travis Gilbert just behind him, Jacob Smith. Then we've got Powell, at number 92. Here they all come into the pits. And this is a huge group getting in. Look at the lockup there out of Powell. At least 13 drivers coming into pits while Jake Rowell and Brian Smith stay out.
Camburn has a penalty for unsafe pit entry.
Yeah, I figured that was going to happen after his incident there. Well, watch these two as they get ready to come into the pits, and then we'll take a look to see what happened to Chris Camburn, because he might have gotten a little too hot and hit the inside wall. I don't know. It's no use speculating. We'll just have to see what happens.
Definitely. And now we got the race off pit road here. Nope, they're going to come down.
Yeah, they're coming in now.
39 and 38.
Here comes Ryan Patty. But John McNeil has a head of steam coming up off of turn number 2. About a 30-mile-an-hour difference right now, 20 as they come up off of the corner, getting up to about 175, now pushing 180 into the corner. Well, the driver's behind. John McNeil is still going to 195. Looks like that momentum is going to stall out, though. Ryan Patty's going to be able to hold on to the lead. Brian Smith, Jake Rowell still in the pits while just getting out now. They're going to lose the lead to Ryan Patty in just a few moments here. Now let's go back and take a look to see what happened to Chris Camburn there as he got into the pits. Oh, that was...
And then he had to back up and into his pit stall.
Yeah, we'll try to get a different angle on that. This is where they were coming into the pits. He gets in way too hot, locks it up, spins it in. Unfortunate deal. Tough break there for Camburn. He's got some damage on the front end, and he had a black flag he had to get taken care of, so he's going to be a couple of laps down right now, being shown 1 lap down in the 41st position.
Yeah, not a position you want to find yourself in. And we say buried. You don't want to bury yourself in one of these restrictor plate races or super speedway races, because it's so hard to unbury yourself, especially when there's a long green flag run.
Yeah, that is definitely true. You do not want to make a mistake on these green flag pit stops, because the time lost is so much more amplified than it would be under caution. Yeah, if you have a bad pit stop under caution, you're starting at the back of the pack. But that's not really going to cause you a lot of problems when the pack is all together. Right now, we've got massive separation after Caden Henry Oaks, my bad there, in 17th. Then we've got to go back almost 5 seconds to find Brian Smith, who's being pushed by the 39 of Jake Roll. Those guys stayed out an extra lap, came in together, and they were able to stay as close as they could to that lead group in the 18th position, but losing time to those guys up in front. And
yeah, we got 11 laps left for the stage here. Jacob Smith leading the outside line as he's going to take the lead, and he's bringing the outside line with him with John McNeil and the Rocket Zach Lockett along with him.
Phenomenal drive there on the outside lane. It looks like Hanover Fist. That's a cool name, but he's got some damage. A meatball flag. He's in the pits getting that taken care of.
Travis Gilbert, new number, same manufacturer, same sponsor, with that Vet to Track sponsorship we're all accustomed to seeing. There on the inside line, almost rubbing the paint off of the 4-car, Jacob Smith. By the way, no relation to Brian Smith. It's a coincidence.
Well, maybe it was Jacob Smith that smelled like cheese. I'm not sure. It was one of the Smiths that guy said in the chat. We'll let him let us know who he was referring to. Jacob Smith and that Batman machine trying to make things happen on the bottom. Here comes the lap machine of Shane Cochran. Not the ideal pit stop for him. He wasn't able to come out with a draft partner. He is going to go 1 lap down in the 39th position. It would be in the free pass position if nobody else gets lapped before this stage end, which is, about 9 laps away here at the end of lap number 40. These guys are going to start picking the intensity up, trying to get this stage win.
Yeah, definitely John McNeil taking the lead. And that inside line has got, Jacob Smith, Travis Gilbert, Ryan Patty, and then the 31 car. And then the outside line's got John McNeil, the Rocket Zach Lockett, the boss John Ross. And it looks like the 28 car, Patrick Colby.
Here comes a 54, Jacob Malone looking up to the outside. He's got help from a Caden Henry Oaks up on the outside.
A lot of comers and goers, Liam, as they're trying to get an outside line going. Who's going to take the bait and who's going to go with Jacob Malone? We almost have to prove what's actually going on.
Yeah, it looks like this has really disrupted all of the flow of the outside line. Look at these guys now falling back. The inside lane definitely taking advantage of this situation here.
We got a yellow. Yellow
Robert
flag
Blauen
is
is around, and the caution is out here for the first time today. Caution is going to come out at lap number 33. These guys coming across the line to take lap 34. And the Iracing.com pace car will lead the field for the first time here today in competition. Let's take a look to see what happened. Oh, he just got a tag from the 42 and sent him into the outside wall. Major front end damage, but he is able to drive that car away.
I mean, you don't want to be the first caution of the season, but someone's got to be it.
An unfortunate situation. We'll see if we can ride on board with that machine as he gets turned sideways down the front straightaway. Little slow-mo action here. He's got a good group that he's working with. They're side by side, and yeah, just gets turned.
Oof.
Well, that's going to be the first caution of the race here today. And Alan, I tell you what, if you would have told me that we would have started 41 drivers at Daytona and gone to 33 laps before seeing our first caution flag and having a successful round of green flag pit stops, I would have called you crazy. But that just goes to show this insane talent level that this Icon Racing Series drivers have. Some of the best in all of iRacing coming together here on a Sunday night to shake it down, shake it up, and figure out if they want to
Liam,
shake some feathers or shake some hands at the end of this thing.
all I gotta say is get ready, because a lot of these races, you're gonna see a lot of these guys' talent levels. Jacob Smith pulled the old whoop-de-doo on the field.
Yeah, tried to fake it out. Nobody really bid on it, though.
No, but I call that the equivalent of a pump fake in football.
Yeah. Well, we're going to step aside real quick. I've got to do a little manual work to fix these commercials, so you'll see a little behind-the-scenes work for a moment, but we'll step away for a moment and be right back with the restart and the end of stage number 1.
It's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one. Back live here at Daytona, pace truck about ready to make that hard left turn. Jacob Smith leads over Travis Gilbert, Ryan Patty, Kevin Gunther, and Scott Tompkins in the top 5. Bentley Glazer, Nathan Finnegan, Adam Ball, Joshua Parent, and Paul Crumray round out the field. Into the United Reynolds restart zone. We are green. 4 laps to go in stage 1 at Daytona.
Yeah, what a jump that these guys got already. Jacob Smith out there in an early lead.
Single file down on the inside so far, but Bentley Glazer up on the outside trying to make something happen. He's got a push from Paul Crumray. A blue car down on the bottom, moved underneath the yellow line. I believe that was the 08 machine. Right there, Michael Taylor on the inside. It's now the 22 and the 45. Move up, that's Scott Tompkins and Joshua Parent in the 22. Trying to get side by side for the race lead. And let me say, Alan, the fog is gone. The sun is out. The stars are out here, too.
3 laps to go here in stage number 1. Might have been a little
definitely.
audio issue on your end, or on my end for you, Alan. My bad. Got you now.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, here comes the Ford. Jacob Smith tries to go up and take the lead. He scraped across that front bumper. The 45 and almost got it sideways. Kept it straight. And now he's battling for 3rd place up on the outside. Huge push from that number 45 of Scott Tompkins. 2 laps to go in the stage.
Yeah, 2 laps to go in stage number 1. Travis Gilbert trying to become the first stage winner of the season here. On lap 39, Ryan Petty says Travis Gilbert wants it, or has it. Ryan Petty wants it. Here comes Jacob Smith and the number 45 car on the outside. Travis Gilbert blocking like it's the last lap. Bump right there, bump, bump. Hey, Liam, if there's anybody that you want to see behind you right now, it's that 4 car and or that 30 car, Ryan Petty.
I tell you what, if you're the 3, you want to see them both behind you, and you want to see them stay there for this next 2.5 miles stretch. Coming up off of turn number 4, another big block coming up top. These blocks, they're aggressive, but they're working out for now. How much more aggressive do they get before the end, as now the 4 looks to be trying to get a little bit of air to the nose. Getting into turn number 1. He's going to turn the 3 sideways.
Oh, no!
Up the racetrack they go in a huge crash. 5 cars piled up on the top. Bentley Glazer's gotten a piece, and now they're continuing to crash through the field. Caution is going to come out and end stage number 1. It looks like Zach Lockett is going to get through and win the stage.
Oh, man.
He knew those blocks were aggressive there, but not sure if there was... I mean, there was definitely contact between the 3 and the 4 to bring out that caution. Not sure if it was a block gone wrong or if it was a move that shouldn't have been made. We'll take a look at the replay in just a few moments. We're going to watch Zach Lockett. Looks like he's driving slow, as if he's going to let somebody go by. We'll see if Jacob Smith, quite possibly, is going to be able to come through and get around him if he takes that stage win. I believe Zach
Eric
Lockett.
Eric in the YouTube.com live chat put it quite simply. That was evil.
That was ugly. Jacob Smith, I believe he's going to take the lead now, so I believe he should be the stage winner. We'll try to catch up with you guys, get you caught up on that in just a few moments, but let's take a look to see what happened there as the 3 machine is doing everything he could to keep those guys behind him. Riding on board with Smith here, and he's making a move kind of up to the top. He moves down, and
It's the sweet part of that bumper. Gets them airborne a little bit.
and then you see the 6 getting turned there. They're 3 wide, bouncing off each other for the lead. And then Patty's going to get into the 22, turn him sideways. He's going to spin back up. No, he locks it up and stays where he's at. But the 44, John Ross, got a tag there. Try to get another angle up it here.
Ooh.
A lot of guys making contact here. This was a huge wreck. It almost seems like a bunch of different little wrecks that everybody was trying to avoid, and in the end, unfortunately, took out a lot of good cars at the front of the field. Move back to live pictures. We got a lot of pit stops happening now. Brad Delph gonna lead him off the pit lane. Started this race in 37th position, up 36 spots is Brad Delph. That one doesn't show us exactly who was in the wreck, but
Yeah, do have to work on that one. But hey, Liam, while we got time, let's do this. Let's chat with somebody.
yeah, let's see what we got.
You know what? I'm a little biased. So let's bring up our good buddy Shane.
All right, let's do it.
Shane, it's Alan and Liam in the SRM booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Hey, look, man. You traded in your broadcasting suit for a fire suit. How's it going? And what are you looking forward to in the season here with Icon?
I mean, this is just cool, you know. I mean, we get to call the races all last season, and now I'm out here racing with Brian Smith and Ryan Patty, and it's kind of like racing with your heroes or some celebrities or something. But we missed our pit stall on that first cycle, and that put us a lap down. But we got the lucky dog, and so I think we're right back in it. I'm just going to try to keep it clean and then be there at the end.
Absolutely. Like, I know you're having a blast up there, and you know what, Shane, they're already starting to try to free Vinny.
Oh no! I mean, at least wait till the second stage.
All right. Well, before we get you out of here, is there anybody you want to thank to help you get it done on that number 86 car?
Oh, I've got to thank my dad. He's in here crew chiefing with me, and want to thank the Icon League for letting me join up and getting me all set up and getting him access so we can be in the voice chat together and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun all season. Look forward to talking to you at the end of the races, Alan, if we're lucky.
Well, Shane, you may have brought up we might have to get a crew chief interview too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if we get on that podium, we're going to bring him in.
All right, man.
All right. Well, good luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you on the other side.
Yes, sir.
And that was the voice of Shane Cochran there as we get him down to his... There we go.
There we are. Doubled up, ready to rock and rumble here. Take a look at the back. Zachary King in that 47. He's got some major damage. He had himself a strong run in yesterday's VPR Daytona 500. But couldn't bring it home. Joshua Parent, heavy damage there. We saw that 22 getting turned. Might not be too crazy a damage. Bentley Glazer in that 36 was definitely wounded in that crash. Jacob Smith we saw in the 4 machine. Believe he got that stage win, but he's got heavy damage to the front end of that Batman machine, and Batman's taking a licking. Nathan Finnegan, Chris Camburn is going to be back on the lead lap here due to that caution. Back up front, Brad Delph. Ready to rock and roll here with Matt Everett to his outside, a part-timer. Not running for full season points, but he is running for a victory in Daytona. Let's go ahead and
Definitely
crank it up for this restart, Alan.
I'm with you. Oh, no, we got trouble in the start.
No, let's not crank it up. Caution is out already. Big trouble. Charlie Widener sideways, and we've got a parking lot on the front stretch.
Definitely is a definite parking lot there on I-4 just outside of Daytona Beach.
Try to
Or
take a look.
I-95.
Here. It's already happening. Angle here in just a moment. So from the green flag here, we're going to take a look. I believe Charlie Widener was one of the first cars to get sideways here. Oh no, it was the 77 got turned by the 9.
You're not exactly sure what caused it on the 9 car, whether the 77 missed a shift.
Well, let's see again here. See Bankert just behind him here. A lot of gap in front. Yeah, he did not hit him squarely at all, and that's gonna really create havoc here to start stage number 2. And number 15 was taking some damage as well. One more look here down the back from high above to see a lot of space is being given on that inside lane, and it seems like everybody's just going to kind of come together here. 2 car lengths in between. Oh man, the 77, did he just not go?
Yeah, I was curious if he missed, simply just missed a shift, or if he just, or if the, or if the 9 just got too good of a run coming to the start.
Oh no, he restarted in 5th.
Oh no!
Oh no, trying to save some fuel in 5th gear, running around at low RPMs, and I hate to say I've done it before, just forgot to switch the gears back. And it's different here. I mean, he's in a situation where he's got his sequential shifter. He's got to manually go down 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. He can't just use his H pattern, jump back into 2nd, and, kind of jump out of the way. It was a tough situation there. Matt Everett takes over the race lead. Brad Delph just behind him.
Well, Liam, speaking of drivers from Western States Racing League, Tuesday night we come back on Western States Racing League, and you and Mike the Money on the call, we go right and left turning at Coda.
Man, I tell you what, I cannot wait to see what these guys do at Coda. I know Jacob Jensen was strong on the road course last year at Watkins Glen, but Coda's an entirely different beast. We might see a new face get up front.
Well, you won't see me up there in the front because I am terrible at road racing.
I didn't think we would. But, Alan, I still want you to complete all the laps, okay? I know you're a dirt guy.
That's the goal.
I know you're a dirt guy. But the better you get at asphalt, the more fun you're going to have.
I am the resident dirt racer.
You really are. I mean, we all know that you would smoke each and every one of us by a lap if we took you on in a 25-lap feature anywhere.
I think you'd give me a run for my money. I hate to say it.
I don't know about that. I can maybe do 305s at Knoxville if I get the pole. I'm not going to lose the lead, potentially, but good luck passing. I won't have much luck passing.
Nonetheless, here we are working lap number 47 on our way to stage 2. At lap 80 is when that second stage will end. And right now it's Matt Everett and Brad Duff, Paul Krumrei. Some old school WSRL guys up there in the top 5. Paul Krumrei and Jeff Hollingsworth. And at number 97. Liam, when I watch this league, I'm a little biased to the WSRL guys.
Man, I just think it's cool to be able to see so many names that I've called, races for, that I've raced with. Want to say I've raced with Delph a little bit, with maybe some Tango stuff or a different league. We've seen Krumrei, Hollingsworth, guys like that. But then, it's really cool to be able to come out here and see new drivers like Matt Everett. Haven't seen him before. Kevin Bankert doing pretty good in that number 9 machine. I know he
was kind of one of the catalysts of that last incident. Kevin Gunther, another driver in that 31. Good-looking paint scheme. And, of course, the Biff throwback just behind him, Adam Ball in the number 19.
Oh,
Adam knows Ball, and, buddy, you got me good there.
got you in the
now I
field a
feel
little
bad
bit.
for
didn't
not
it?
taking a silent lap 16. So,
That's okay.
I think what we should do is maybe do a silent lap 69 for his SRX number.
Fair enough.
We'll see. Matt Everett leads him down. Green flag. We'll see if we make it to the finish line. A cleaner start that time. Everett's able to get a couple of car lengths, but as we know at Daytona, that's not always the most beneficial thing. As now here comes Crumray with a run, but no help. Now he's got help.
Jeff Hollingsworth.
Aggressive to the top side. We'll
You
move
might
to the
see Zach
middle
Lockett
there.
go to the middle.
Pop back into the bottom side. Zach Lockett getting aggressive there.
Jeff Hollingworth in the outside line. Paul Kumrai in that inside line. Leading, charging both lines like they're in charge here, in which they are. But here they come, leading the cavalry.
Yeah, this is absolutely incredible stuff. I know we had a little flurry of the yellows there with the stage end and the stage beginning. But, I mean, these guys are insane, incredible talents on the racetrack. And, yeah, it looks like we got a little double vision with these number 9s. I got to figure out who that Allstate machine is. That's Chris Mackley, I believe, in the 33. So he's going to be timing and scoring as the 33, but driving that number 9 Napa Allstate machine. Back up front, though, Jeff Hollingsworth able to come down in front of Paul Crumray, the 97 and 96, bumper to bumper coming across the start-finish line as here comes Kevin Banker up on the top side for third place with a push from Brad Delph in the 72.
And here comes Paul Crumray. WSR working. Engine number 9 steaming away on the outside with Brad Delph right behind him.
Brad Delph gonna push that number 9 machine engine number prime to the front. That wasn't that good. But he's gonna push him up to the front. Brad Delph gets into second for just a moment. Look at that separation up on the outside versus the inside. It seems like the momentum is really just picking and choosing where it wants to go right now. Not anybody getting a major advantage.
And just as you said, engine number prime to the outside. He's got Brad Delph right behind him. And that 72 car is one of those drivers that's a really good drafter. Jeff Hollingsworth in at number 97. Oh, hang on to her, boys. Hang on to her.
Looking pretty good on the inside lane now. The race leader, Jeff Hollingsworth, able to get himself a couple of car lengths with his partner here, Paul Crumray. Got a couple of car lengths on that number 5 of Matt Everett. He's really starting to separate out as we've been taking a look at this front picture, try to get ourselves a broader idea of what's going on throughout the pack. So you see a lot of side-by-side action. Take a look at that number 4 of Jacob Smith. Stage 1 winner. Back in the pack right now in 21st. If he gets a couple more cautions, he might be able to get something out of that front end. Wide up in front, there's the 78 up on the outside. Ryan Smith going to fall back a couple of spots. He's got a hole to get down if he wants to right in front of Charles Woods. Looks like he's going to take that straight to the back of the pack, though. So he elects not to get down in front of Woods. However, the 54 does decide. Jacob Malone, he is going to get in front of Woods, and now he's going to try to work that middle lane all by himself as there seems to be a bit of a checkup in front of him.
A little bit of a checkup. Adam Ball going to drop in. Brian Swift going to take the bait and go to the middle with Malone and Ball there in that number 19 car. And just behind him, you got Leroy Coburn.
And Leroy's got some fans in the chat. Eric Anderson definitely rooting him on. He was pleased to see him get up into the top 10, but that 42 machine fell back a little bit.
Right now sitting just outside the top 20 in 21st. Doing a pretty good job of minding his P's and Q's, keeping his nose clean with these aggressive shoves that have been going around. Now here comes Malone back up to the outside, trying to make something happen as there's another checkup on that inside lane, especially right behind the 08 machine of Michael Taylor. Bentley Glazer's going to fall back along with the 78 Brian Smith as Koblenz now moves up to the outside of him, trying to get back up into the top 20. Allen.
We are 3 wide right there at Adam Ball, Jacob Malone, and the 31 car. Ryan Patty looking to making some hay there on that inside line there.
Whoa, a little more checkup up top. There's Anthony Teseo in that 15 machine. We haven't talked about him a lot today, but he's got some fans in the chat along with Dominic Teseo. I hope I am saying that right. If I'm not, please correct me.
Tizio.
Tizio?
It's Tizio.
Okay, perfect.
Hey,
Well,
look, we got
Tizio's
it
doing
around.
pretty
We got it around Daytona last year, the second Daytona race.
good. Well, definitely. Well, you don't want to say that somebody's name's wrong, especially if they're doing something great. Looking up front, Paul Crumray blocks in front of Zach Lockett to hold on to this race lead, leaving Brad Delph alone on the outside. He's got himself some help, but the 2 on the inside are bumper to bumper. I don't know, Brad Delph, he's got himself some momentum up on that outside.
Yeah,
Brad
Delph
his
looks
first lap of the race. Or no, he actually
Brad Delph
led
looks
coming up
very
off of the pit lane.
strong.
Never mind.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. But guess who's helping Paul Ray out? The 93 of the Rocket, Zach Lockett. And they're 2x2, Liam. It's almost like rush hour traffic at 175 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Minnesota there, buddy.
Oh, we don't have 75 here, but yeah, this is like 169. That's the road I take to get home from work.
Okay.
It's just 2 lanes. People get really upset at you if you make a 3rd lane. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. And oh, what a bump from that 93 car, looking a little bit deeper into the field. As we come back to the front, Jeff Hollingsworth trying to get in on the mix there as we are on board with the Rocket, Zach Lockett. There's that Mission 22 car of Jeff Hollingsworth.
And I do love that Mission 22 statement. You know, we do lose, unfortunately, 22 veterans a day. And, well, nobody should feel that way, but especially people who have sacrificed their livelihood to fight for our country. United in the War Against Veteran Suicide is Mission 22's program, and you guys could give that a little support. There'd be a lot of love in there.
Definitely do got a lot of special place in our hearts for the armed forces. Paul Crewmate sporting that Mission 22 sponsorship, also on his number 96 Toyota Camry.
Again, we appreciate everybody tuning in here live on YouTube on the Sim Racing Media channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll never miss a race. Now that racing season's getting back up, we're going to have some more leagues getting started on a weekly basis, and we do have some ideas for special events. I am just going to go ahead and drop an inkling of a potential Indianapolis 500 event that may or may not be taking place in May. So, anybody interested in driving in that, jumping on board with any sort of partnerships or anything, by all means, come find us on Facebook. We respond to Messenger pretty well. If you want to be a part of our crew, find us on Facebook. We've got a link, I believe, in the chat or in the description.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely looking for more people to join us in this amazing journey of calling sim racing and working our way into some real racing stuff.
Absolutely. And speaking of calling races, Liam, Wednesday night, we got to Watkins Glen.
Yeah, we got a couple
For
of
88
races
laps.
this week. We've got the WSRL running Coda, and then, yeah, we've got Watkins Glen, 88 laps for those guys, and that is going to be a true test of the mind, you know, the mentality of these drivers. You're going to have to run almost, 2 laps short of a full cup race without making a mistake if you want to win. Because there are no cautions in road racing on Iracing.
I mean, if there was a caution, we'd be there all night, really.
Yeah, we got one getting down towards the inside. Looked like that was rolled. Gonna be able to continue forward though. At a moment there, Delph has a moment in the middle. He's gonna come back down to the bottom. A little bit of contact there for Brad Delph, and I feel like I've been up front for a long time, and now I'm falling towards the back. Might try to get aggressive to not keep falling back further. Jake Christian.
Well, there's that number.
40. Sorry.
I was just saying, there's that number 9 car trying to make something happen on the inside line. But Liam, we're gonna have pit stops here pretty soon. I want to say around 60, the 63rd lap, maybe even 65. Or do you try to undercut the stage?
Well, it seemed to work pitting earlier for. The drivers who pitted the first 2 laps of the pit cycle seemed to have the biggest advantage. They were able to get packed up together again. There was about 4 that came in that first lap or the second lap, and they were able to kind of keep the gap on the rest of them, retain the lead. Those guys who came in on the first 2 laps. My thing, I think you just want to come in with a big group, not make a mistake, and hope that you can get out at the front of said group. Because if you can't, you're going to find yourself losing time to a lot of fast cars.
It definitely is. We were working lap 62, 61 laps in the books. We are over halfway done with this one here. You know, in Daytona is one of those races that, to me, you look forward all winter long to racing at, and then it seems like it's gone in the blink of an eye. As next week we head to Atlanta, Echo Park Speedway, where we saw, one driver go back to back in the real world. You know, and it's talented field. You know, I said it all season last year, Liam. You could put any of these drivers in any league and they're going to excel.
And I feel like this is kind of a conglomerate of that. Like we've said, we've seen drivers that are from our Tuesday night Western States Racing League that we are blessed to be able to call. We've seen drivers from, other leagues also in here. Icon's a high-level series, and a lot of good drivers want to race here. And, it shows. These guys have been able to run through this Daytona race 60 laps in. We've had 3 cautions, 2 for, I guess all 3 were for cause. That one did end the stage, but only 3 cautions. We've still got 35 drivers on the lead lap here.
Oh, I don't like that bump they're pushing in the corners.
Chris Mackey in that Napa number 9, the 33 on your scoring sheet, not to be confused with that 33 machine on the outside. I believe that's Jake Christenberry in the Mobile 1 machine. Timing and scoring's got us a little bit jacked up, but these guys know who they are and what they're racing for.
Hey, look, Chris Mackey is 33 in our hearts and 9 on the screen.
Keep an eye on that Adam Ball machine, number 19. He started on the pole. He knows he's got a fast car here today, and he's been just biding his time. Not really pushing anything too hard, not really trying to get his nose dirty.
Oh.
But it's worked out for him. He's found himself into the top 10, and now he's trying to work his way just outside of the top 5 as that inside lane starts to single file out once again. The 15 of Tizio is starting to lose some of that help. Michael Taylor going to try to close in behind him, coming up off of turn number 2 with help from Delph. Delph going to fall in line. No, he's going to go down all the way to the bottom. Wow. I'm not sure if he's got some sort of... Oh, and he's going to make contact with Tizio.
Tizio. Not sure what just happened.
And Koblitz is caught up in that as well. Koblitz has a messed up front end. Caution's going to come out for the 4th time today. What in the world was that?
I'm willing to bet that was a disconnect of some sort. That was a really I hate to put this out there. That was really egregious to come all the way down to 2 lanes of traffic and then come back up, and I don't think that Tizio was expecting Delta to be there. Yeah, Del comes back up and
Sorry, I didn't have the right angle there. Where is Del?
yeah, 72 car just right hooks Tizio or left hooks him.
It goes all the way to the bottom of the track. Comes back up. And just hits the 20. Nowhere for Koblenz to go. Let's get on board with him. Just no chance.
Yeah, there's nothing Leroy could even do at that point. He's along for the ride, and that's going to cost him the meatball flag, unfortunately. The YouTube.com live chat not real happy with the 72 car.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with them there. Let's see if we can ride on board with the 72.
Comes down 2 lanes of traffic right there. Almost on the road course where the road course would be. And then, oh. I mean, I'm not a betting man, Liam, but I'm pretty sure that that Tizio's got some 4-letter adjectives for the 71 car.
Yeah,
Or the 72 car. And it's not safe for work, so.
I really don't understand that.
Well, nonetheless, back to the. Oh, there we go. Got another view of it. Delph, here he comes. And. I mean, it's at full speed right there. Comes back up.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just trying to get out of a pack situation and wanted to fall in behind the 20 and misjudged it. Or if there was maybe something more behind that. But that was definitely aggressive.
As much as we'd like to bring Tizio in the booth, I'm not sure that's a great idea at this point.
Why don't you want to go down and ask?
Sure, we can do that. We can do that.
We're gonna see if we can talk with the 20 car and see if we can get his thoughts on that. And now we're getting doubled up once again for the restart. Caution number 4 here on lap 68.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get Dominic's side of the story here.
Want me to bring him in?
Dominic, it's Liam and Alan up in the SRM booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, dude, I got you.
Well,
Hey,
we saw some we saw some contact there getting into turns 3 and 4, and it didn't really seem like you had much of anything you could do about it. Do you know what happened there?
Yeah, no hate. 72 came from the outside, came down in, swung through the inside lane, and I was going fast enough, I felt, to take the pass on him and have him slide in behind me. I think he kind of realized that same thing at the end there, and then just kind of hooked me. Luckily, I didn't get too much damage, just a little bit of wheel, but was kind of just talking to my teammates, kind of not really paying attention. I actually ended up driving through the pit lane. Didn't get a penalty, thank God. So I'm good, but now I'm nothing going wrong. But riding right next to the 72 again. I hope we're chilling. He apologized though, so we're good.
Well, awesome stuff, man. It's definitely an interesting incident. And you mentioned not a lot of damage. That was going to be the next thing we asked you.
Yeah, no, not a lot of damage at all. And so, all good. Broadcast going good, though?
Yep,
yeah,
broadcast is going great.
Watching you guys do what you do out here. It's been insane, but we're going to send you back here coming to this
All
restart.
right.
Thank you for joining us, and best of luck. Pace car makes that hard left turn into the Geico restart zone. It's United Rentals, but we can pretend. Green flag is out. Jacob Malone going to lead them down. He's got help from the 19 of Adam Ball. He knows ball.
Yeah, 12 laps to go here in stage 9. And right now, everybody's coming down pit road. That time by Adam Ball down on the inside lane with Zach Lockett right behind him. The Rocket, Zach Lockett.
And yes, I see your comment there, the Shawnee 9958. No, it's a little bit confusing at the moment, but yes, that 40 car on the outside in third place. It's 40 on the timing and scoring, but he's driving a 33 Mobile 1 paint scheme. That number 9 car on the inside took that 33 number, but he's driving the 9 Napa All-State paint scheme. That's Chris Mackey. Chris Mackey. Jake Christenberry is the 33 Mobile 1 machine. Chris Mackey is the number 9 Napa machine. His number was taken by Kevin Baker, who's driving the number 9 Prime machine. So that's where this confusion kind of all got started. But we've got you, folks. Everything's going to be taken care of, and we won't let you get confused on who's who.
See, we're in good hands. It's like Allstate.
Allstate, are you in good hands?
That's why you use the brains of this operation.
I don't know, man. You do a lot of work behind the scenes that I don't think I would be mentally or physically capable of doing. So you can call me the brains, but dude, you're the hamster on the wheel. Keep the lights on.
That's fair. But nonetheless, Jacob Malone, it's Team Jacob back out to the front, along with Jake Christenberry. It's Jacob and Jake all day long. Jake Christenberry up 19 positions right now on this restart. We are 10 laps to the end of stage number 2. And Liam, I got to tell you what, this has been a blast all night long, as Adam Ball has found himself in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Adam Ball
guess
doing
he's
a pretty
running
good job. Patrick Colby up in the 4th position right now. One thing, Alan, that last caution did allow these drivers to come in and fuel up their race cars. We don't have a pit stop coming anymore. It's just a straight 9-lap dash till the end of the stage. Drivers completed 71 laps here at Daytona, coming to the 200-mile mark in just about 9 laps. Single file on the inside for the top 5, but the outside lane with Zach Lockett trying to make something happen. He's got a push from that number 9 of Chris Mackey. 33, 9, whatever it says on the scoring pylon, we're going to keep calling him the 9.
He's 33 in our hearts, 9 on the screen. But right now, it's engine number 9.
He'll be the 9M for Mackey. We'll call him that.
Okay.
We got Banker
we
and the
got dirt track
9M for Mackey. Do a dirt style.
We do dirt style. I like it. I like it.
That 9M up on the outside, doing a pretty good job of trying to push Zach Lockett up towards the front. They're getting side by side with that 24. Now getting side by side with Kevin Gunther with the ECR 31 machine. Up the racetrack goes Gunther. He's going to try to come in and take some of this momentum away. Oh man, it looked like the 24 was trying to do the same thing. Brock Hersey wasn't able to get back down in line, so he's going to jump back up. Try to take this shot here from Lockett. Gives him some momentum coming up off of turn number 4, but not quite enough to get next to the 97 of Hollingsworth.
Yeah, definitely. There's that 54 car of Jacob Malone, and we got a whole rest that's behind him.
This is Daytona racing at its finest. What a shot that is. Seeing those cars blaze by at 190 miles an hour with the sun directly blaring in our faces, and a beautiful shot of that Daytona wall. Tell you what, man, this is shaping up to be a beautiful race, and we're still looking at 35 drivers on the lead lap.
That's insane for a Daytona race. The fact that, you know, here we are lap 74, you know, 6 laps away from stage 2, and there's still 35 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, incredible stuff. I mean, especially with the chaos that we've kind of seen. We saw a big wreck getting into turn 1 where the leader got spun in front of the rest of the pack. We saw another big crash on the ensuing restart. And we've still only got 5 drivers out of this race. Looking at Leroy Koblenz, Chris Powell, John Ross, Scott Tompkins, hand over fist. However, Cody Eldred, who did not start this race on time, has made it out here. He is...
Several laps down.
Oh, it's more than several, bud. He is 66 laps down. He is on his 9th lap of the race, just about to complete it back here. But Cody, in that 32 machine, he has made... Oh, problems!
Trouble.
Big problems, Crumray! Delph, hard into the wall. That's Michael Taylor as well.
Cody Eldred getting a piece. Balloon getting a piece of it. Michael Taylor with a meatball flag. 2 drivers with unsafe pit entries.
Yeah, looks like Joshua Parrott in the 22 might have spun down the pit lane. Let's go and see if we can take a look at this. Paul Crumray was one of the first cars that we saw sideways as we were talking about Cody Eldred showing up and running some laps. Right on board. Let's not do that.
And
Oh, Everett gets turned. He's got some damage to the front end of that thing. Take another look here from a slightly higher up angle as Everett's going to get turned sideways off of Delph as they all just... Yeah, see, they're kind of banging off of each other in a spot through the tri-oval that's really going to lighten up your race car. But the momentum that was coming from the back, like, Delph was almost getting shoved through the 5. Like, the 5 got shoved through the car in front of him. Let's slow it down and try to take a chopper angle of it. So yeah, you're going to see some big pushes here. The 9M just in front of Everett in the 5, and they're going to start pushing him. And as they start pushing him, now the 6 moves up to the outside. It looks like Everett just kind of got pushed up out of the way in that 3-car tango, and nowhere for Michael Taylor to go in the 08 up top. Bentley Glazer moves down to avoid it. Charlie Widener coming through. Nowhere for the 84 to go. He's going to pile in here at the end into the back of Delph. Going to go back to live, though, and it looks like we've got major pit stops happening here right before the end of the stage. Wholesale pit stops, as you like to say, Alan.
Wholesale pit stops. Everybody's coming in. Jacob Malone included. It's going to be Team Jacob leading everybody down pit road. And I would imagine that that would have been the end of the stage.
Well, we can,
Or we can always speculate.
yeah, I'm not totally sure here. If you want to jump down and ask somebody. that. I don't know if I can leave with the ones and
Nope,
twos,
I
though.
can.
So a big crash here. In the tri-oval. Jeff Hollingsworth going to take over the race lead in that number 97.
That is confirmed the end of the stage.
All right, so stage 2 is complete. I believe Malone was going to be able to get that one done.
Well, Liam, Jeff Hollingsworth. Jeff Hollingsworth is going to come out in the race lead. A couple of WSRL guys up there in the top 5 with Michael Melfelt Jr. in that 155 car, the Federated Auto Parts Toyota Camry.
Yeah, before we get the restart here, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the final stage here at Daytona.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Back live here at Daytona to start the final stage. Jeff Hollingsworth going to lead him down. He's got Michael Milfelt Jr. to his outside. The Federated Auto Parts machine not been talked about much today. Patrick Colby up in third. Charles Woods in fourth. And Charlie Widener round out the top 5 right now. Adam Ball on the inside. Alan, we are heating back up here. And tell you what, no more stage racing. We're just running to the end.
Yeah, we're running to the end. Lap number 80 here. Jeff Hollingsworth out to the front. Here comes Michael Melfelt Jr. in that 155 car. And here comes the inside lane. That's Charles Woods and Adam Ball and Jeff Hollingsworth.
Getting a good run here is Adam Ball moving up to the outside. He's going to get second place, but Charles Woods going to try to get a little bit of side draft. Here comes the push from Michael Milfelt Jr. up on the top side. Going to get him side by side for the race lead with Hollingsworth. And momentum up on the top is going to push him in front. Is he going to be able to get clear? I believe so. Coming up off of turn number 2. Should have the momentum. Here comes Milfelt to the outside.
Here comes Milfelt. Ball right down there on the inside line. Milfelt going to ditch the outside lane. He's going to the inside. Here comes Patrick Colby to the outside. He's got Charlie Widener right behind him. And the 51 car of Henry Oaks. The inside line is stalled out, Liam.
just for a moment here, and here comes 3 wide for second place. The 51 moving through the middle. That's Caden Henry Oaks. So we see one car coming in. Brad Delph serving his at fault penalty. Coming in, he's going to serve that pass-through penalty. Patrick Colby takes over the race lead with a big push there from Henry Oaks. Michael Milfelt on the 3rd position on the inside lane. Got him trying to get something together. I believe Brock Hersey in the 24 up on the outside being pushed by the 6 of Nathan Finnegan. Here comes a move from Adam Ball just in front of him.
Nathan Finnegan up 17 spots from where he started, right behind Brock Hersey and that 24 car of Adam Ball. Adam Ball there on the outside. That outside line is trying to get something together, get organized. There's got to be one more pit stop before the end of this one, Liam, and that's going to be the money stop. And we're like you said, we're not stage racing no more. We're driving to the end.
Drift King jumped up in the chat and said 9 car drive through for lane change. It's going to be why Kevin Bankert is so far behind at the moment. He's already at the risk of, he's already 2/3 of a lap down. See, there's the 54, or the 45 rather, in the middle. Almost the 54. Jacob Malone, he's working his way through the middle, is the 6 of Finnegan. Looked like he was getting a good shot from the 31. Kevin Gunther backs out, falls back into the middle lane. Michael Milfelt Jr. up front, though, trying to find some help from those guys as they try to figure out the outside lane. And Allen, look at the recovery effort that we're seeing out of Dominic Tizio. We talked about how he didn't have a whole heck of a lot of damage after that, even though Leroy Koblenz took the brunt of that. He's able to get back up here. He's in 14th place.
Dominic Tizio in great company right now with Brian Smith right in front of him, Nathan Finnegan right beside him, and right now he's going to have the best drafting partner if Jacob Smith in that 4 car can get up in that outer lane. But, I mean, Nathan Finnegan is no slouch here at these plate races.
No, not at all. These guys are dealing with a master. Maybe not master, but a pretty experienced guy in Nathan Finnegan here. A lot of these guys have a lot of Daytona experience. And
over 3 wide again.
that's that 78 machine, Brian Smith. Not a lot of help. And now the 24 gets pushed up to the outside lane. He's going to have a window to get back down in front of Brian Smith. And he does. Brock Hersey finds himself a spot in line. And there's Delph. He just came through, served his pass-through penalty. He's at risk of going a lap down now. These guys getting 3 wide like this, that could definitely funnel up or bottleneck things coming up off of a corner or down the straightaway.
Yeah, Liam, you mentioned something earlier on in the broadcast about the cars being real light. These cars are real light when they come off the corner. It's almost like they're very loose. There's that 72 of Brad Delph. And there's that's the 28 car of Patrick Colby there as your leader, working lap number 86. Right now, 85 laps in the books. Brad Delph gonna.
Yeah, he's checking out. He's getting out of the way. He knows he's a couple laps down at this point. He doesn't want to try to get up in there and risk any sort of problems. And Patrick Colby takes. He's had the race lead in that number 28 blue machine. I'm not seeing a sponsor on there, Alan, and so
I believe it's an Alabama car.
Okay, well, I need to do a little update there.
We'll confirm. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, Jacob Malone doing Jacob Malone things has found himself back out to the lead there.
Here's that Kevin
in the
Bankert
number
machine.
54 car. Yep.
He's going a lap down. He's, however, going to stay on the racetrack. Not in the way, but he's going to try to fall in line with this pack. He goes 1 lap down here. And it will be the only car that is 1 lap down. So as long as he can just stay out of trouble, the caution comes out in the next little while before somebody else gets lapped, which would be Shane Cochran. He's the next car. He's the last car on the lead lap as of right now, and he's at the end of this pack, 2.5 seconds behind the leader. I think that guy's going to be safe. Mr. Kevin Banker
think he-
can bank on that.
That's the second time, Leo. Good gosh. Lap 88, 87 in the history book. And right now there it is, the Jacob Malone show, who has, started on the outside pole, and here he is leading this race, the Daytona 300. But he's got good company with Jake Christenberry and Michael Melfield Jr. right behind him. "88 laps in the history books here. Brian Switch trying to get something working on the outside line. On lap number 89, we are almost there. Lap 120 is the end of the race here. And, Patrick Colby made the playoffs last year, looking to do the same thing this year, make that chase. No more playoffs. I wasn't a huge fan of the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie.
I loved it until I didn't. I thought it was a cool idea, and then, got kind of exploited. And it's easier when the best guy all season can win the championship. And I think this year we did see that. Kyle Larson, I know he had a kind of not as great second half as his first half. As now Milfelt gets a push to the outside from Brian Smith in the 78, worked his way back up here. They're getting a little squirrely up there.
Oh,
man, they're getting squirrely with those pushes.
I don't like that.
Coming to 30 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line. We do still have a pit stop to make yet in this race.
Yeah, right now, Jacob Malone and Michael Melfield Jr. both being the fuel pig, if you will.
And Alan, now that they're right next to each other, I think now's another good time. We'll just kind of clarify. We know we've got 2 number 9s in the field. Oh, Michael Milfelt up front. He cut across the bumper of Smith, and it got him sideways. A little bit of checkup out of Smith, and everybody keeps it straight. A-OK. What a job by these Icon Racing drivers. Almost a little bit more closing up on each other in turns 1 and 2. We'll jump back to that point in just a moment. But what a moment here as Milfelt comes back to the bottom, trying to take the lead away from Nathan Finnegan. Look at Tizio up here.
Where did Dominic come from? He is up there in that third spot, second car on the outside line. He's in great company right now. Nathan Finnegan in front of him, Ryan Smith in back of him. But here comes Michael Milfeld Jr. He is out to the lead right now. He's on the point. He's got to make that car 5 wide as we have 29 laps to go.
29 across the stripe. We'll try to do it again here. We've got the 2 9s together on track. That Napa 9 All-State machine, we're going to be calling the 9M. That's Chris Mackey. The Prime number 9, that's Kevin Bankert. So we'll just be calling him the 9 because the scoring shows him as the 9. He gets the OG distinction. 9M will be what we refer to when we're talking about Mackey.
Yes, sir.
Michael
Meanwhile,
Milfeld.
back at the ranch.
That's you, bud.
Oh, by the way, there's still another pit stop we got to do.
Still got another pit stop coming our way. We've still got 35 cars on there, 32 cars on the lead lap. I think 35 on the racetrack. There's a lot of action coming our way as here comes another one to get lapped for another time. That's Paul Crumray. He is 7 laps down, about to go 7 laps down. He's going to stay up to the top side of the racetrack, but these guys are 3 wide just behind him. Looking back at this area with Tizio, what are they going to do? Where are they going to catch him? Everybody falls in line trying to get double wide, and Dominic trying to find a place to get in, and gracefully that 47 is going to allow him a space. Zachary King leaves a hole open for that number 20 machine. Very kind of him there, and keeps the field moving past. We're double wide here coming up off of turn number 2 from about 5th on back.
Definitely number 94, or lap number 94, Wow, the 155 car leading, and he's got the 54 of Jacob Malone all over his back bumper.
I tell you what, man, Jacob Malone, he can lead, he can push. That 54, if he's around, he could be a utility player, but I'd be a little bit nervous about him making a move on me at the end of this thing.
I'm not making my move until the last lap on the last corner.
Well, Tyler Reddick made his move midway down the short chute between the tri-oval and turn 4. Austin Cindric made his move in about the same spot. Kyle Busch made the move in about the same spot when he won the shootout over Tony Stewart back in 2012. Well, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that it is really not over until it's over. When you're here at Daytona, you could think you have it all. Right at the last second, somebody can take it away from you. A la Denny Hamlin and Michael Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. Oh, we got problems!
Michael Truex Jr. Oh, no.
Big trouble here. Caution's going to come out. The 88 of Camber got turned, and now the 3 gets turned by the 32.
Some extracurricular activity going on. Parent with heavy damage. Tizio, I believe.
I can't believe
with
said
heavy damage.
Yeah,
Zachary King with heavy damage.
Henry Oakes with some damage there too. I think you mentioned Zach King. Travis Gilbert was in there. Mike Grinnell, Ryan Patty. 88 was the first car to get sideways there of Camburn. Let's take a look. Start with high above at slow speed. So Camburn is pushing Finnegan big time, and looks like he's going to come down trying to follow the 6 when he's not clear. And around he goes, takes another shot from Milfelt, slides up and collects the 33. You got 5 or 6 of them piled up there, and then everybody just piles in. My goodness. That is a big one. Chris Mackey down there, the 9M.
Clean up on aisle 5.
See it again here. .55 took a huge shot there too. The 9 just got clipped at the end, and that's just the thing about Daytona. When you've got this many cars, even if it's not a huge crash right in front of you, it's very likely that you might get into somebody else. I'm going to go back to live and take a look at some of these pit stops that we're seeing here out of the front runners. Nathan Finnegan going to lead them down.
And Liam, I believe this will be the pit stop to get them to the end.
Oh, 1,000%. This is it. This will get them through green, white checkers, I think. We got 23 laps to go. Coming across the start-finish line, this should have these guys covered for a green, white checker. And it looks like we're seeing mostly fuel only, maybe 1 or 2 two-tire stops so far. A lot of guys getting some damage repaired, and a lot of 4-tire stops happening here as well. It's going to take a moment for us to shake this all out. See if we can get another look, maybe riding on board with some of these drivers for that last incident. On board with Jacob Malone, happened just in front of him. See what Widener saw. He just came to a complete stop to try to get around. See what Tizio saw. Oh, wrong one. Glazer got into the back of Blauen there. A lot of cars caught up in this 6th caution here of the day. Daytona 300 for the Icon Series. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. Doubled up here. 17 drivers are here with the pack, at least on the lead lap. Jacob Malone coming through. He's got some damage to... I'm not sure what happened to Malone there. Looked like he got through the crash okay, but spent an extended amount of time on the pit lane, and it's going to be towards the back of this field. One of the better cars that we've seen all day. Led a lot of the laps. We start towards the back, and as we talk, Alan, about lap leaders, let's see what we've got. A lot of guys have led laps.
No, Jacob Malone has led the most, though.
17 different drivers have led. Yes, Jacob Malone has led the most laps. Going to be restarting in 17th position there. John McNeil has led 11 laps. He currently sits in the 2nd position in the 48 machine. Zach Lockett running in the lead. Going to lead his 10th lap as the pace car makes that hard left turn once again. Here we go. Zach Lockett going to lead us down for the green flag. 21 laps to go.
I don't like that lead that Zach Lockett's got, because here comes the field. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth. Jeff Hollingsworth gotta run. And here comes his teammate Nathan Brzezowski, though, on the inside. Zach Lockett's got a little help from his friends, if you will.
3 cars lined up on the bottom. 2 of them bumper to bumper up on the top side. We're coming to 20 laps to go in the Daytona 300.
To go.
Some 3 wide here happening. Here comes Jacob Malone up on the outside. Trying to make that 3rd lane work. Things getting aggressive here in the final 20 laps. Malone
now we got a middle line working.
Brian Smith moves down the block. Was that Nathan Finnegan? That's Finnegan. Finnegan now through the middle, trying to take the race lead. Up to the middle goes Lockett to try to block. Can't quite get there, as now they're side by side, 3 wide for the race lead. Nathan Finnegan down the back straightaway, trying to nose in front. The outside of Hollingsworth going to fall back just a little bit. Finnegan gets a bump from the 54 that gets him sideways. Almost contact with the inside lane, gets him squirrely. But it's going to work out for them in the end as Finnegan gets the lead. Big push from Jacob Malone as they come to the stripe. 19 laps to go.
19 laps to go. Nathan Finnegan on the inside line. Jacob Malone up 1 spot. Nathan Finnegan out to the lead. He's picked up 23 spots. Don't want to count the chickens before they hatch just yet. Nathan Finnegan's really hungry. It was him and Brian Smith all season last year trading race wins, and Nathan Finnegan would love to win here in Daytona.
Only one driver is going to be able to get that done here, and we have got
We've got 30 drivers still in this lead pack, even after that big crash. Got a lot of cars up here with some damage still, but 30 drivers in this lead pack within 2 seconds of the race lead as Caden Henry Oaks takes over the race lead on the bottom.
And just to just say that as we go down to turn number 1, Jacob Malone back out to the point. He is pulling away just a little bit. I don't know that I like that with 18 laps to go. They go screaming down the back straightaway. We're under caution for the 7th time.
Paul Crumray has had a problem. He's around in turn number 2. Matt Everett's might have been a piece of that as well. Let's take a look at, well, no, he's in the pits. Yeah, I think he's got a piece of that as well.
Oh.
Ray takes some heavy damage, as does the 5, and there were a couple other drivers caught up in that one.
Tough break for all those drivers that were vying for a Daytona 300. Ryan Patty caught up in that, right? Last year's race winner gets a piece of the action.
Caution out for the 7th time here today. Under 20 laps to go. We've got 17 as they came across the stripe that last time. Now, Alan, as these cautions keep happening, the intensity level is only going to rise.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, looking up and down the lineup here, a lot of covers and goers. Now we got Jacob Malone, Caden Henry Oaks, Jeff Dillon, John McNeil, Nathan Finnegan. That's your top 5 right now. As we we have 13 laps to go. We're gonna come back to Green Flag Racing with 15 laps left here in the opening round here of the Icon Cup Series here, the 2026 edition. We're glad you came along for the ride here tonight because it has been just short of spectacular.
Yeah, it has absolutely been a spectacular race. We saw 33 caution-free laps in the first stage before we had our first incident. Saw a nice little incident to end stage number 1. Now that restart was a little bit rough, but most everybody was able to get away okay. So we still have 29 drivers on the lead lap. Evan Bankert to come into potentially the free pass position to make it go back up to 30.
You know, this is one of those leagues where I wish they had spotters and crew chiefs, because then we could start talking to the crew chiefs and the spotters and see what it's going to take for the driver to go in front. But nonetheless, I think we're coming back. Well, there goes the free pass car of Kevin Bankert.
You know, he's going to be excited to get back on the lead lap. That number 9 has been as fast as Amazon Prime shipping. He's going to want to be able to get up to the front because not a lot of time left. Coming to 15 laps to go. Lights are still on pace cars, so I believe 14 is what we will restart with. We'll keep you updated on that.
Okay. Look, it's all over but the crying now. As we got a couple of guys back there in the back end, topped off of fuel. You know, just what an incredible event. To be at lap with 16 laps to go, and we got 30 drivers left on the lead lap. That is mind-boggling to me.
It is absolutely crazy. I mean, you see these races happen and you assume attrition is going to be a huge part of them. And especially with the incidents that we've seen so far today, it's been wild to see so many cars be able to continue on. Kind of goes to show the durability of this next-gen race car.
Absolutely. Here as we
Lockett
look.
is my pick to win here, says the Shawnee 995. Got some guys frustrated with that 72. Do appreciate you guys jumping up in here, hanging out with us, and spending a Sunday night after an incredible Atlanta race, which honestly, I was really skeptical, Alan, when they first did this repave. I was like, oh great, we're going to do more plate racing. But this kind of hybrid intermediate super speedway thing with this next gen car has been truly incredible. I mean, we're seeing a lot of lead changes. We're seeing a lot of guys being on the edge. Aggressive moves for sure. Carson Hocevar showed us that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this car lends itself to that style of racing. You know, this next gen car, and it's crazy to think that, you know, your Kyle Busch's can't seem to quite figure this car out, but nonetheless, 51 car is out. He's had his fun meter pegged out for tonight. Liam, what do you say we go 50 laps of green flag racing to the end? We've done 31, so I think we can do 15.
51 is currently sitting in the second place.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like his fun meter's pegged quite yet.
Maybe it's just starting to reach the red level. I don't know.
Could be. I do see the comment there from Zero Fan. We'll keep an eye on the 51, but right now he's looking pretty next to Jacob Malone at In-N-Out Esports Group Toyota, rocking the Jordan logo.
Well, 14 laps to go when we cross the stripe here. It's going to be a short run to the end of this one.
300 miles is going to come down to 14 or less laps. See if we can make it to the end from here. So come to the start-finish line. Green flag back in the air, and a good restart there for Malone. Nice push out of the outside. 48 machine going to allow that 51 to take whatever lane he pleases, and he jumps straight down to the bottom.
Get down to the bottom here. Here comes the 52 car of Jeff Dillon. The outside line is stalled out. It's the inside line with the advantage.
Inside lane has the advantage big time, as now they're side by side for fifth coming down the back straightaway. Jake Christenberry in that 48 has fallen all the way back to, I'm sorry, he's in the 40 machine. He's fallen all the way back to ninth at this point, but the outside lane coming back. John McNeil in the 48 with a big push from the 33 of Jake Roll. It's the 39, actually. Got a couple of 33s, but the 39 of Jake Roll found his way up to the front. He's currently sitting in third as he pushed John McNeil across the stripe to lead that lap by a skosh. Now John's going to be clear getting into turn number one. Is that 39 going to get himself clear? Not quite. 54 still staying strong on the bottom with a push from the 51, and a little bit sideways there goes McNeil. He's going to have to come back down the racetrack.
A little bit sideways. Here comes McNeil rolling that number 33 car. He's got Jacob Smith right behind him in the 4 car. It's a battle of the inside line versus the outside line as they come through 3 and 4 complex to get ready to get lap 12 to go. Oh, come on, please stay green.
Stage 1 winner, Jake Smith in that 4 car, who, by the way, we saw involved in an accident, major heavy front damage. We've gotten that thing repaired, and he's third in the middle line right now, racing in the top 5.
Dozen laps left to go. That's the 54 car versus the 48 car. That's Malone versus McNeil. Who's going to have the better run? We got a third line foreman. Was Nathan Finnegan.
Nathan Finnegan up on the outside trying to make hay, as now they're 3 wide for second. Brian Smith moves up to the top side to block that run, and no, that wasn't for second. The top 4 get single file and get away. Now the 48 try to join that train. Here comes Lockett moving up to the top, though, trying to take away the 3rd spot from Jacob Smith. Huge run there on the top side as those top 2 stay locked together. Nose to tail, the 39 and the 54. Jacob Malone leads into turn 1, but he moves up to try to block the outside. Little bit of a bump that gets him squirrely. Sideways goes
we got
Brian Smith.
Smith.
Big crash. Milfeld is in it. Huge contact here in turn 2. 8 to 10 cars at least.
Shane Cochran got a piece of the action.
Cochran was definitely in that area. You see the 28 machine of Patrick Colby, heavy damage, and I'm not sure that one's making it back.
So definitely might need to call a tow truck for that one.
Rennell got a piece of it. Anthony Tizio. All got started when Brian Smith got turned around in turn 2. That happened fast, Alan.
Yeah, there's your reigning defending champion of the Icon Cup Series. Brian Smith with heavy damage. And this one happened so fast.
Oh, they start to get 4 wide. Oh, that's a bad angle. Let's change that. Try that again. So yeah, you're going to see here they start to get 4 wide. Adam Ball is looking down to the inside, and the 9, or rather the 6 of Finnegan makes a look to the outside. Smith is just trying to give space to the outside, and Kevin Bankert caught up in that one as soon as he gets back on the lead lap. Shane Cochran might be okay. It looks like he just kind of checked up, and huge damage to the 19 of Adam Ball.
Yeah, definitely hate to see it for those drivers involved in that accident.
See it from the stands. Oh, there was another hard hit up there. Was that the 39 potentially? No, Jake Roll is leading. That was another similar looking car. Anthony Tizio in the 15, I believe.
Yeah, we're going to need a number of a good chiropractor after this one.
Accident on the left side of your screen, just getting started there, and 3 cars get sandwiched there. The 31 was caught up in that as well. That was brewing a while, says Kebabs. Gotta say you're right there. I think it was chilling on the slow cooker for just a few moments here. Not the right setting.
You gotta copyright all that. Ace caution for Colton tonight with 9 laps to go here from Daytona. And you know what? We got a new race leader.
Jake Roll.
Not that that matters. I just said not that that matters with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, the lead could change hands at any given moment here at Daytona, but I tell you what, if you're in Jake Roll's position, you got to be feeling pretty good. Rather be up front in case something happens. Spend some laps under caution, keep that lead, and try to defend it. No, it's tough to defend the lead at Daytona, especially coming up out of turn number 4 on the last lap. Everybody and their mother seems to want to try to make whatever momentum they have work. But I figure as long as you're in the top 3 coming up off of turn 4 at Daytona, you could have yourself a chance.
Well, here's that word patience that we talk about. Throw that out the window.
Oh,
We're throwing that word out the window.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
patience is gone. As our good buddy Dave Regal says, we're getting ready to get up on the north side of crazy. Or cranked up to crazy, rather.
Yeah, if you thought things were crazy already, well, these last 8 laps, 7 laps, when we take the green flag, it's going to be like Aladdin, a whole new world. Tell you what, man, these shoves are going to be crazy. These pushes are going to be aggressive. The blocks going to be through the roof. We've got to decide a champion here today for the great American race of the Icon Cup Series.
51 car down on the apron. I imagine he's going to come back up there onto the racing surface. Wouldn't hit the back straight away.
Mike could be just trying to save as much fuel as he possibly can in case we get a green white checker. Not a bad idea while we're under yellow. You know what they say, smoke them if you got them.
True.
So 8th caution here today. Currently running under lap number 113. Doubled up behind the pace truck in that 39. Look at all the dirt and grit that is covering the front end of that machine. Kind of Kevin Harvick throwback, the Austin Dillon scheme he drove at the Clash.
For sure.
So the pace car is getting ready. Pace truck, I should say. Getting ready to make that hard left turn one more time. Will it be the last? We've got 7 laps to find out who's going to be the champion of the Daytona 300 for the Icon Racing League. Green flag is out. We are racing once again. Jake Rowe leads him down. Advantage for now. No run for Malone. No help out of Lockett right now. About to turn number 2. The inside lane looks to be getting the top 2 cleared. Looks like a potential move coming out of Jacob Smith in the 4, but here comes Malone back up on the outside. Almost a little bit of contact there between Finnegan and Jake Christianberry. Malone has the lead for now, but Lockett moves down to the inside. He's got a big push from that 48 of John McNeil. Gonna take over the race lead. 6 laps to go, coming up off of turn number 2.
And here comes Zach Lockett, though, down to the inside. Here comes the Rocket.
He's got a lot of help, and they're going to get 2 cars cleared on the inside, almost a third. But here comes that run back up on the outside with Finnegan all over the rear bumper. The 39 gets a little bit loose, and that's only going to hurt the inside lane, as now he slides up the racetrack. Jacob Smith gives him a little bit of a shot. Now they're going to scramble just a hair as the outside lane continues to form itself up. That 39 machine. Here comes McNeil up to the outside. He's not going to get any help. He gets stuck in the middle. Here comes Malone to the outside for the race lead with a push from Finnegan. Malone going to move down to the middle as Finnegan now has help from Ryan Patty. And both drivers get stuck in the middle as Zach Lockett and Nathan Finnegan are side by side for the lead down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Nathan Finnegan, Ryan Patty, last year's Daytona winner, trying to make hay on the outside. Here comes Travis Gilbert. The outside line, the very outside line. That's what I call the Dale Jr. line. It's got some momentum. It's coming like a freight train.
Finnegan gets a little bit of a bump, and there's some potential net code and drivers folding into each other for a moment. Looks like everything's going to be A-OK, as no, the 3 is inside of the 30. My goodness. I don't know if that's... Oh, problems! Finnegan gets turned. Smith gets turned around again. Big trouble here in turn number 1, and the caution's going to come out with 4 laps to go.
That's going to be triggering overtime.
Indeed, it is. The caution out once again. Nathan Finnegan made contact with that outside wall, and Ryan Smith. Just trying to see here. Oh, Smith gets into Finnegan. This is swirly, and everybody is just right there.
Camburn here at the back. He's going to get a piece of it. Malone with heavy damage to the front end. He took a good shot there from the 88. Ryan Patty. Damage to the 33 as well. Jake Christenberry. Dominic Tizio caught up in another one. One more look from the spotter cam.
Oh no.
And Alan, I know you know when you get a wreck like that, everything's just happening all at once. There's nothing that really anybody can do other than try to lock up the brakes, make a decision, and hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're gonna go overtime racing here as we get ready to go, and here's how this is gonna work. Basically, we're gonna take the green flag. If we take the white flag and the caution comes out, it's over. Whoever's leading when we race back to the line. If we got 3 attempts, so if we make it around, if we take the green flag, we don't make it around, we still got 2 more attempts. So.
Alan, let's not forget, if there is a crash on the last lap, the caution is not going to be thrown by Iracing.
Yeah, that's true.
Lights still on the iRacing.com pace truck. So, 121 will be at least the minimum number of laps completed for this race. We're going to have to go 1 extra. Make it a little 302.5. And now this is where it starts to get into drivers' heads. What's at stake here? Daytona 300, the season opener. We started 41 drivers here today, and only one of them is going to be able to take home that checkered flag. I've never personally won a Daytona 500. I've been close. I've been very close. I've been passed out of 4 on the last lap and lost it by 0.03 of a second type close. That was years ago, and I still think about it. Somebody's probably going to get their heart broken here today, just as much as somebody has their heart warmed.
Well, we're getting ready to find out in 3 short laps.
Lights are off on the iRacing.com. Looks like a Chevy Silverado.
It is. 2017 model.
Nice. Lights are out. We've got 20 in this pack. Sorry, we've got 16 in the pack right now. 17th coming up here at the end. Shane Cochran here in 18th. Robert Blowen doing a pretty good job of recovering. We know he's made some contact, but looking pretty good in that 84 Cartoon Network wacky racing machine. Brian Smith, his car's looking pretty good, but he's got some distance to catch up. So he went a lap down getting repairs. No, he did not. 20th place, Brian Smith. Should be all right. Ryan Patty getting some work done. He is going to go a lap down. Like you said, defending champion Brian Smith. He's got a good-looking race car. He's
got a long ways to go and not a lot of time to get there.
Oh, here we go. Getting ready to go 2 laps of racing here for as we go green, white, checkered. As we trigger NASCAR overtime here on Icon. Liam, turn the aggression level up to about 20.
Caden Henry Oaks is going to take the restart with the lead. He's got Zach Lockett to his outside. Jake Roll, Jeff Dillon, Jacob Smith, Jeff Hollingsworth, Bentley Glazer, Jacob Malones, Charles Woods, and Chris Mackey round out your top 10. Nathan Finnegan recovers to 11th. Brock Hersey out of ball. Chris Camburn, Travis Gilbert in the top 15. Into the United Rentals restart zone. Green flag is out, and a strong restart from the 93 up on the outside. It looked like the 51 might have missed his gear or something.
And we are going green flag racing as the 51 car has a push from the 39. That's Oaks. Henry Oaks. Oh, here comes the rocket, Zach Lockett.
Down the back straightaway, guys starting to fan out, trying to figure out which lane is going to move. Here comes the 39 up to the top, or to the middle, rather, to get in front of Lockett. Trying to take the lead away from Henry Oaks, and the caution's going to come out. We've got another one sideways. Big crash in turns 3 and 4.
That one got Shane Cochran.
Shane is in it. The 77 is in it of Nathan Brzezowski. Jeff Hollingsworth, heavy damage through the grass. Looks like Chris Camburn involved in another one. Oh, what happened up in front of that? Leaves the 77. Nathan Brzezowski might have been the first one to get sideways. Oh, yeah, the 3 got into him a little bit. 88 got into the 3. Hollingsworth nowhere to go. Angle of this. The 3 makes contact with the 77. So caution out here for the 10th time. We're going to double overtime. Alan explained the rules beforehand. It doesn't change. We're going to try it again. We take the white flag, all bets are off. But if they crash before we take that white flag, I'm going to re-rack them, restack them, just like we're doing now, for one more try.
Yeah, exactly. That's the name of the game. We're going to do a re-rack and restack. But Liam, we got 3 laps to go. Once again, we're going to go past the scheduled distance by 3 more laps. And it's going to be Jacob Roll, and Caden Henry Oaks on your front row. The Rocket, Zach Lockett to the outside in the second row. And Jacob Smith will be on the outside of the row too.
39 rocking the inside lane. You got to wonder if he's close on that fuel number, if he's down there trying to save, or if he's down there for show.
I mean, who knows?
A lot of guys up front here who have really spent a good portion of this race up front. We talk about Caden Henry Oaks. He's been up here. Zach Lockett. It's been tough to find him outside of the top 5 here today. Bentley Glazer, though, he's a driver who's been involved in a couple of incidents. We've seen him towards the middle portion of this pack. Now he finds himself in 6th with a restart with 2 laps to go. Jacob Malone involved in not that last caution, but the one before it. Got some front end damage. Currently sitting in the 8th position. He's down, but he's not out. But we go back and take a look at some of these guys. Jeff Hollingsworth, he's got the meatball flag. We'll try to get an angle where we can see him. He's got the meatball there. John McNeil as well with a meatball, and Jake Christenberry. Got to get some repairs done. Patrick Colby, a lot of damage there. Anthony Tizio. Kevin Gunther, I believe, has potentially packed it up there. So we get doubled up here.
Sure.
Ready for 2 more at Daytona. If the caution comes out before the white flag, we'll try it one more time.
One more time. Well, it's going to be Henry Oaks and roll on the front row. Tizio's in the YouTube.com live chat with smoke coming out of his head, so.
Glad you're back from Culver's. Do love me a Butterburger. We've got ourselves a restart for the ages coming your way. We've still got 19 drivers on the lead lap. 17 of them up in this lead pack right now. A couple of them trying to close in from getting some more damage repaired. We'll see if they can fare well.
Yeah, most definitely 3 laps left here at Daytona.
Man, that
Butterburger
39,
O'Clock.
He's got to be clutching it. Getting himself
Oh,
in
yeah,
the gap,
for sure.
clutching it, letting him fall back. I don't know how concerned he is on the fuel. He last came in on lap 98, but the car on his inside, Caden Henry Oaks, came in on lap 97, along with almost everybody else in the top 10. Coming in at lap 97, Adam Ball has the most recent pit stop in the top 12 with 1:11. Brian Smith obviously just came in that last time, being involved in the crash that brought out the first overtime. We're about to find out, though, who's going to be our Daytona champion. Going to be 126 laps in total. Should we stay green, and Jake Roll is going to lead him down. Green flag is in the air.
What a jump Jake Roll's got. But here comes that outside line. Zach Lockett going to go to the outside line.
Outside lane working really strong. Had a really good restart as Caden all by himself. He's got a little bit of help from that 52 of Jeff Gillen. Outside of that, everybody's gone up to the top side. Here comes Bentley Glazer to the bottom, trying to make a move for second. He has no help. That's going to allow Jacob Malone to get around him up into third. Coming through turns 3 and 4, Lockett going to move down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's got help from Hersey. Hersey's got that 9M behind him of Mackey. Trying to push him side by side for second as they come up off of turn number 4. Allen, I don't want to make it. It looks like we're going to make it to the white flag.
And white flag is out. 1 more lap to go. If anything happens here, it's over. And here comes Shane Cochran on the inside.
That's
He's
Brian
right
Smith
behind.
there.
Well, no, Shane Cochran's behind Bentley Glazer in that 36 car.
Cochran down there on the bottom. Jake Roll trying to hold on to this lead. Brian Smith with a push from Lockett. Malone is going to try to find a way to get around. He's looking down to the inside. He's going to get to the inside of the 4 of Jake Smith. Hersey's not going to be able to follow him. Here comes Brian Smith with a huge push to the back of Malone. Malone on the inside is going to get through for the lead. He's going to get turned. Problems coming up off of turn number 4. Who's going to get through to win the race? Side by side, Lockett and Mackey. It's Lockett across the line. Mackey in second. And Nathan Finnegan is going to come home in third.
The Rocket
It's
Zach
Lockett
wins
O'Clockett
it,
indeed, Sean. Lockett O'Clockett indeed. And he clocked that one 300 plus miles. We got to do the math. I think that's a 318 he just won. Chris Mackey in second, and a huge crash coming up off of turn number 4 that caused that saw Jacob Malone get turned sideways. Shane Cochran also involved in that. Brock Hersey, Brian Smith. I'm not even sure who made it through to the end, but Zach Lockett comes across the start-finish line and first gets the checkered flag and wins the Daytona 318. Scheduled to be a Daytona 300, but 6 extra laps. That's a Daytona 315. He's going to bring it down into the grass and burn it down!
Oh, he deserves it.
Chris Mackey comes home in second. Nathan Finnegan rounding out the podium. Absolutely phenomenal drive here out of Zach Lockett. Take a look at these lap leaders here throughout the day. Lockett led the second most. It was only 13 compared to Malone's 34. He was one of the more dominant drivers today, and he comes home with the win. Still burning it down here on the front straightaway.
My boy. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit biased. It's fun to see Zach Lockett win.
Phenomenal stuff here at Daytona. We'll go ahead and show you our race results. Zach Lockett gets it done over Chris Mackey, Nathan Finnegan, Jeff Dillon in 4th, and Travis Gilbert comes home in 5th. Adam Ball in 6th, Jake Roel in 7th, Caden Henry Oaks, followed by Brock Hersey and Brian Smith to round out the top 10. We've got Bentley Glazer, followed by Jacob Malone, Charles Woods, Nathan Brzezowski, Rob Blauen, Chris Camburn, Dominic Tizio, Jacob Smith rounding out that page. Got Shane Cochran coming home 19th, Kevin Bankert, Jeff Hollingsworth, Ryan Patty, John McNeil, Jake Christenberry, Mike Grinnell, Charlie Widener, Kevin Gunther, Michael Milfelt Jr., Patrick Colby, Anthony Tizio, Mike Everett, followed by Paul Crumray, Brad Delve, Zachary King, Josh Parent, Michael Taylor, Leroy Koblenz, Cody Eldred, Chris Powell, Scott Tompkins, John Ross, rounding out the field. Hanover Fist was also here. Jacob Gladulich, the Drift King, did not end up making the start. We're going to see if we can get our race winner up in the booth with us. Zach, it's Liam and Allen up in the booth. You got a copy.
I got a copy, boys.
Well, I tell you what, man, you just won the Daytona 315. How does it feel to come across the start-finish line in first?
Oh, man, feels so good. I felt really good all race. I think I was running in the top 5, top 10, probably the most consistently throughout the whole field the whole night. So, tried to get as many stage points as I could. That's what I usually do. And then you just kind of hope for the best, but usually it never goes my way. But, I knew I had some luck on my side tonight. I just kept being, a couple cars ahead of all the chaos. Didn't even have a 4X until the last lap. So literally had a 0X, kept clean all night, kept avoiding all the wrecks, and, finally had some luck for once. Really got lucky there coming to the line that everyone just did the classic Daytona, pushed a little too hard, and, I was, I think, the 3rd car in line and just was perfect right there for the end. So a little bit of luck tonight, but also know I had some speed and, was able to stay up in the front all night. So really felt like I deserved this one.
Yeah, you were absolutely blazing fast all night. We saw you up in the top 5, like you said, pretty consistently. You led the second most laps today with 13, kind of far behind Malone's 34, but you were one of the more dominant drivers here today. Walk us through that last lap, because coming to the white flag, you had 4 or 5 different guys in front of you.
Yeah, I was behind Brian and, just wasn't lifting like everyone else, right? So, I figured at worst I'll be able to, if we don't wreck, I'll be able to get onto the podium, and he'll just push whoever it was in front of him to the victory, and I'll come home P3, which is fine. It's a good points day. But once they started wrecking, really just kept in it, and like I said, got pretty lucky there. So didn't seem like I had much help there on the restart. The 51 didn't have a good restart in the top lane, rolled right by us, and all those guys were working together. So once I dropped down to the bottom there, I think with 2 to go, I honestly thought I was over because those guys were all working together pretty well. But Brian dropped down to the middle, and then I knew I had some help, and really just kept my foot in it from there. Really all it was.
Well, Zach, you start this season off strong with the first checkered flag of the Icon Series. Before we move on to next week, Atlanta, who do you want to thank, and who helps you get it done in that number 93 machine?
Yeah, first, and shout out to you guys for broadcasting. Thanks for coming back this year, Alan. Looking forward to chatting with you guys a little bit more too. Liam, good to meet you. Hopefully excited to go back as well and watch that. Got to give a huge shout out to everyone at Adrenaline, John McNeil, Chris Mackey, who's a new addition to our team, Brzezowski and Leroy Koblenz and John Ross didn't have the best races, but John McNeil actually helped me a lot there at the end, spotting when he was out of the race. So really got to appreciate him. And Chris Mackey said he was glued to my bumper. He was staying right behind me no matter what. So we're gonna do good things here at Adrenaline all year. I think this is one of many wins we're gonna have. So shout out to them. Shout out to the league, of course. Icon. I've been here since I think the fall of 2023, I ran a couple of races and I've run 2 full seasons, haven't won yet. So this is big for me. Hoping to stack a few more this year. I feel like I got the speed to compete with the top guys now. I used to be a 1.5K, 2K, 3K driver. Now I'm got 4.2K I rating. So feeling like I'm able to compete with some of the top guys in here now. And just got to give a shout out to everyone watching as well and my wife. So that's about it.
Well, awesome stuff, man. And let me say, Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500 while they all wrecked behind him, and then got it done today. So if you find yourself in a crash with your teammate next week in the midpoint of the race, don't feel too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, what, the one crappy part is that this doesn't lock you into the playoffs now that we've gone back to the chase format. So I'll try to be consistent all year, and hopefully this won't be the last time you hear me.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations once again, and we'll be talking to you again soon, I'm sure.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to bring second place Chris Mackey into the booth. Alan, you got him.
Chris, it's Alan and Liam up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Man, first of all, what a great race you ran. But what more did you need out of the car, and what more could have went your way to have a shot at that 93 car?
Yeah, I mean, nothing more. The car, I had some damage from, I think the caution, maybe 2 cautions before the final one. My right front was pretty banged up, so I knew my shot at winning was basically out the window. So I just kind of made the agreement to get behind my teammate, and I'm going to push him as hard as I can until the race is over, and that's kind of how it lined out. And the seas parted for both of us to come through there, and I mean, drag race to the end versus car with no damage, and then my car with all the damage I had on the front. It wasn't going to be possible to get to him, so I'll take it. I'll definitely take P2, my first start in the Icon series. That was fun, just kind of getting to learn all the guys. 80% of the guys in here I've never raced with before, so I was kind of just trying to learn everybody tonight, and was content finishing back of the pack if I needed to, just to learn everybody. But I'll take P2 to start the season all day long.
Yeah, awesome job. Now we go to Atlanta. What's your thoughts as we head to Atlanta? And are you still going to be trying to learn these guys that going in there?
Probably not Atlanta. That's my home track. I have a pretty decent record there as far as like league racing and stuff. So that tends to be somewhere where I think I have 2 or 3 leagues now. I've picked up my first league win in those leagues at Atlanta, but not quite the competition that this series has. So we're definitely not going to go in there learning, but we're also not going to go in just over our head and making dumb moves or anything like that. So we'll just let the race play out, and where we end up is where we end up. But definitely be excited to go to Atlanta and try to put on a show at the home track.
Well, look, man, before you get out of here, who helped you get it done, and who helped you out? Who do you want to thank He hopes to get it done on that number 33 car.
Yeah, man. Just want to give a big shout out to the teammates at Adrenaline. We had a good group of guys tonight. Obviously, Zach Lockett taking home the win. Nathan, Leroy, John, and both Johns actually. John Ross had a short night, but it was awesome racing with those guys. Glad to be a part of their team, and glad we could take home that win. And then just big shout out to my fiance, man, for letting me come on here at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night when I should be doing other things. So she's the real winner out of all this for letting me do it. So
Awesome job. Well, congratulations on that P2, and we'll see you next week at Atlanta.
yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
That was our P2 finisher, Chris Mackey. Now we're going to bring in P3 and Nathan Finnegan. And Nathan, you had yourself a wild last lap there. Well, walk us through your race first off. It seemed like you were able to lead some laps, had a fast car. How did it feel behind the wheel?
Yeah, the number 6 Rhode Island College Chevrolet definitely was moving well. I mean, we were able to take runs when we had them and find our dance partner when we had opportunities to. It was a lot of honestly trying to just stay out of the mess and just avoid any of the situations and try to just run our fuel strategy as best we could. And then seemingly throughout the night, it seems like trouble seemed to find us. Unfortunately, it almost felt like we did better when we were actually more aggressive running up front and trying to race for the lead and to lead the lines rather than kind of hanging back and just conserving. Yeah, I'm surprised we had as much oomph in the car left as we did after that shot that we took. We felt good leading that line. I think we were around 20 to go when that caution came out and took some damage. And I thought for sure it was going to be junked. And actually, it still drove pretty well. I don't know if they changed the damage model or anything, but we just at that point we weren't down on power. We just said, you know what, we're going to just hang around in the top 10 here and see what we can do, and try to see what we could make of it in that last greenway checkered attempt.
Yeah, talk with us about that last lap. I mean, didn't really seem like you were in a position to fight for a podium spot, but then the seas seemed to part right in front of you. You had to do a little of bumper tag to get through it, but you got through it, man, and got that P3.
Yeah, we ended up losing a lot of momentum in 1 and 2, and nobody really would kind of work with us on that outside group. The third lane all night just seemed to have such a hard time going when you're top 3. That third lane, I don't know, it used to really dominate here, and again, I don't know if they changed the aero package or what, but definitely something to take away for future races. But kind of got hung out, and then it ended up benefiting us because as they were chopping it up, entering 3 on the backstretch on that final lap, we kind of like channeled a Reddick Herbst final lap run, if you will, in terms of just built up a ton of momentum, just charged on through, and figured, you know what, our best bet is how these things end off of 4s. A lot of times they wreck either to the infield or to the wall, and it wrecked to the wall, but we were able to kind of shoot to the bottom. And big shout out to the 19 with Adam, our teammate. He was able to kind of give us a shove there, and he had the same thought in mind, or just keep our foot in it and just kind of see how this plays out. And yeah, the seas parted, and next thing we know, we're third across the line. So all things considered, with where we were 5-10 laps earlier, I thought for sure we had no shot at even a top 10, never mind a podium. So pretty happy with the finish that we got tonight.
Well, Nathan, you head into Atlanta with a lot of momentum. It's another drafting track, but a little bit tighter. What are your expectations for that? And before we let you go, who do you want to thank for such a strong run here in that number 6 machine?
Yeah, looking forward to Legacy Texas. Should be interesting. I'm curious to see how it ends up running, since we're not running Coda. I think if Texas, they could revert it back to how it used to be in real life. I think this Gen car suits it really, really well in these intermediates. So it should be a lot of fun. Gets hot, gets slick. You can run multiple grooves there. So should be a fun time. Looking forward to it. And big shout out to the CCR, ECR guys. My dad, my wife for tuning in. And you guys over at SRM, what you guys do each and every week for us in terms of putting on this broadcast.
Awesome stuff, man, and thank you for the correction. We are at Legacy, Texas next week. But yeah, congratulations on such a strong run here once again, and looking forward to seeing what you can do moving forward in this season.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, Alan, we had ourselves a phenomenal race here tonight. Daytona never disappoints.
No, it doesn't. And what an exciting race. I'm smiling ear to ear right now. Congratulations to Zach Lockett, the Rocket Zach Lockett, on winning here tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. I know we're not supposed to have any sort of bias up here, but I know that's somebody that you're kind of close with. So happy for you in that sense, and super cool to see the Adrenaline guys get a 1-2 to start this season. Nathan Finnegan able to get through some of that chaos to get on the podium. And yeah, we're going to Legacy, Texas next week. I love Legacy, Texas.
I can't wait. You know, second race of the season. They say that's when the real season starts. But Liam, it's time for us to land this airplane and, well, actually put it back in the sky and head to Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yes, sir. That is absolutely correct. And after a phenomenal race here for the Icon Cup Series, what do you think we have left to do as we watch this one last look at the finish? Is to quote Cletus, say, "Do it for Dale and be like Biff." Quote our good friend Tony. As you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.